Hello, this is the Welcome Series. This is free of charge introductory level technical training from Extreme Networks. And this is episode 6. We're at the end. We're at the end of the course. Well done. And thank you for joining us in this training course. Now, we've got a lot to cover this week. We've got a lesson from Isaac. We're going to tell you how to get access to the exam. And we're also going to tell you about what's coming next. And yes, there's something coming next that we're excited to tell you about. So I'm here with Bethany and Claire. They're going to be coming back towards the end of the episode to tell you all about that. And I can see Isaac out of the corner of my eye as well. He looks like he's had a bit of a makeover. Looks like he looks like he's getting ready for the winter there. So this episode is more about Extreme Cloud IQ. Isaac's going to show you some more features and give you some demos of things that you can do in Extreme Cloud IQ, whet your appetite for things that you might want to go and learn more about. So let's not hang around. Let's give it over to Isaac straight away. Enjoy episode 6.
Brilliant. So yeah, let's go straight into today's lesson. Now, this lesson is a little bit more hands-on. You're going to actually see demos of the types of stuff that we've been talking about, right? You're going to see on-screen recorded demos, and everything starts with the creation of Extreme Cloud IQ account. So if you were at my house and we were talking and you said, hey, show me Extreme Cloud IQ. I mean, you've been talking blah, 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 blah about it, but show me how it actually works. Show me what it looks like. Okay, it starts here. Create an Extreme Cloud IQ account. Short little module, six slides or so. Very easy. So if you don't have an account, Extreme Cloud IQ account, just follow along. In fact, you might even want to create one on the fly as I'm going through this process. If you don't want to do it now, well, you can always come back later and watch this little part again, and then you can just follow on. So let's go into how you create an Extreme Cloud IQ account. First thing you need to do is you need to navigate to the URL that you see on screen, right? You can just type in www.extremecloudiq.com/login, and it will redirect you to https://extremecloudiq.com/login. Now remember, HTTPS, what port is that? Yeah, you should know already. Port 443, right? Port 443. So you click on that, and it takes you to this particular page where you're given two options. If you already have an account, boom, you click the top of those two options. If you don't, well, you click the Register Now button. So you click on that Register Now button, and it comes back and it asks you for a few questions. This is for those people who don't yet have an Extreme Cloud IQ account. So you get taken to this page. Now remember, today the screen might look something like this. The landing page might look something like this. The colors might look something like this. But if you watch this video, I don't know, 6 months time, maybe 3 months time, it could be different, but you get the idea. It's the same kind of stuff. So you get asked to fill in some information, okay? The normal type of information, name, blah, 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 account, etc., etc. But here's an important one. It asks you whether you want to have data for a set number of days or for unlimited data, right? Now, unlimited amount of time. What that basically means is, when you have Extreme Cloud IQ devices, all right, that are being managed by Extreme Cloud IQ, the data that comes off those devices, that metadata that tells you about how your network is configured, who's using it, what time, is the quality good, is the quality bad, all of that data can be stored within Extreme Cloud IQ. And some people say, no, I don't want to store data more than 90 days or whatever it is. That's fine. I don't need to store it more than that. After that, just wipe it out and kind of have a rolling buffer on that. Others say, no, we want to keep the data. And that could be important, really important. the wonderful thing about this is if you say, I want you to keep the data indefinitely, then if something happens on the network, if you have a hack or something to that effect, or whatever, legal compliance, for example, you would be able to then go back to any point in time since you started using this. So you make that choice and you select what it is that you want to do. Once you've done that, it says thank you for submitting your registration. Welcome to the family. Hey, great. This is the company. This is the name, etc., etc. Next thing it's going to ask you for is going to say, all right, now that you're in, let's go and set up a password for you. And you're going to go and set up a password for it like normal. It's going to ask you to confirm that particular password. And then it's going to say to you, if you want to continue with your 30-day trial. So if you haven't had an account, or if you're actually doing it now while you're watching this, you can go and create this, follow those few steps. And then when you get to this point, it says to you, okay, if this is do you want to carry this on for 30 days? And I suggest that if you don't have an account, go and create one. 30 days. You got nothing to lose. Go and try that, right? 30 days. If you already have an account on ExtremeCloud IQ, of course, then the second of those options will come up, which says, I already have an Extreme IQ entitlement key. What's the entitlement key? The entitlement key is when you buy a device from us, you will get an entitlement key for the amount of devices that you purchase, right? So I have an entitlement key, I think it's for about 10 devices or something to that effect when I originally joined Aerohive. So that means I'm allowed to put up to 10 devices into my account. So that's what it is. It's an entitlement key that gives you the right to set up X amount of devices on your ExtremeCloud IQ account. So if you have one, this is where you put it in. You also have the ability to start with ExtremeCloud IQ Connect, which is really basic functionality, just gives you the wireless of the device without any of the other features that I will tell you about, and a lot of the features that you saw previously when I was speaking about this technology. All right. Once you've done that, you go and get started, and you get to this screen, which is basically kind of like a wizard that gets triggered the very first time you create an account on ExtremeCloud IQ. And at this point, it then starts with, okay, so you have a device, whatever, and you want to set it up. Let me take you through a step-by-step procedure. This procedure that you see here might also change. It's always in a state of flux. They're always tuning it and seeing, okay, can we make it more efficient, etc., etc. So at this point, ExtremeCloud IQ, when you get here, I've created an account. If it's new, 30-day trial, whatever, I am now ready to add devices to ExtremeCloud IQ. And it's at this point that we then start the onboarding process. Okay, so what I've done up till now is I've gone through various slides to show you the process to create an ExtremeCloud IQ account. Now, if you go on to our YouTube channel, Extreme Networks YouTube channel, and you scroll down, if you get to the landing page and you scroll down, there's a section which talks about how-to guides and things like that. And down there, you're going to find a whole lot of little bite-sized 3.5 minute videos that show you very focused how to do a number of different things. So we've recorded those, we've worked on those, they're really well done. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to guide you through some of those demos. We might do 3-4 of those demos, and I'll guide you through. I think they're pretty self-explanatory, but the first one that we're going to be jumping on now is how to onboard a device, right? You've landed here, you've created your account, it's now a blank slate ready for you, and now you have your first ExtremeCloud IQ device, virtual or physical, and now you're going to onboard that into ExtremeCloud IQ. So let's hit that video number 1, which is onboarding a device.
In this video, we will show you how to onboard an access point into ExtremeCloud IQ and illustrate how straightforward this process is. This video has been structured to enable you to follow along and pause as required. To start, log into ExtremeCloud IQ and select Manage Devices. To add an access point, you simply click on the plus button, select Quick Add Devices and then enter the serial number of the access point. The illustration on screen shows you where to find the serial number on the device itself. Once you have added the serial number, you click on Add Devices and you will see that ExtremeCloud IQ has reported that the device has been added successfully. Prior to connecting your access point, ensure DNS, NTP, and the required firewall ports are configured. Further information is available in ExtremeCloud IQ. You may need to wait a few minutes for the device to show as connected. Successful connection is indicated by the icon changing to green. Let's imagine you have a large number of devices to onboard, then you have the option to import using a CSV file. An example template of the required format is available. Once your device is onboarded, you are able to assign a network policy and location if previously configured in ExtremeCloud IQ. You also have the option to add an access point to ExtremeCloud IQ in advance of physical deployment by assigning the pre-provisioned deployment mode, indicated by a purple status icon. This can easily be reverted back to production mode when the access points are deployed and ready to be actively managed by ExtremeCloud IQ. For devices other than access points, use the Device Make drop-down as shown. To provide the required view of your onboarded devices, a filter can be applied. This can be very useful as the number of managed devices grows and you need to effectively monitor and manage large deployments. For more information, you can select the question mark icon to access context-sensitive help or refer to extremenetworks.com. In summary, we have shown the options for onboarding access points to ExtremeCloud IQ and how simple this process is. Look out for videos on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to receive updates on additional videos like this. Thank you for watching.
Really quite easy, right? Piece of cake. Okay, now we've got an account. We have onboarded a device or devices into ExtremeCloud IQ. Now we need to think about, okay, so they are working. We could say, well, let's just place them and then, they all working. But ExtremeCloud IQ, for it to really give us valuable data, we need to do something really important. And that is, we need to create locations on a map where we show an internal map, where we show where the devices are actually located. This does two things for us. It kind of, if we're starting off in the process, it kind of gives us a coverage map that kind of shows us if there are any blind spots, all right, dead spots where there's no Wi-Fi no Wi-Fi signal at all. So this process that you're going to see now, this demo that you're going to see now, is kind of part of that, right? Think about if you have a building. If you have a building, you might have 3 or 4 different floors in the building. So you want to run a set of APs on ground floor, on the first floor, second floor, third floor. You want to do that, but you want to, when you get the stats, for it to be set up in the correct floor. So if you have 10 APs on the 4th floor, you want to be able to click on 4th floor and see the APs, see their location. And of course, if you start seeing issues on them, if Cloud IQ comes and tells you, hey, there's a problem over here on this access point, you want to be able to identify where it is. So it's not just a matter of saying, well, put the access points out and pray for the best. No, you need to locate them. The more you locate them, the better you locate them, the better and more valuable the information that you're going to get out of them. So let's look at the next demo video, which is about adding locations and floor plans to your ExtremeCloud IQ account, and then placing the devices within there. So this is another short one. It's about 3 minutes odd. Really quite easy to do, not difficult at all. Let's take that video now.
In this video we show you how to add a location in ExtremeCloud IQ. There are a number of reasons for adding locations to your ExtremeCloud IQ account. Locations enable you to filter device view based on location, monitor client device locations, view statistics based on location, apply configuration and policy based on location. To add a location, select the ML Insights tab, Network 360 Plan, and then select Create New Map. Next, add the location details. Once added, hit Get Started. Next, you can add a floor plan. For this video we are selecting the example library floor plan, although you can upload a floor plan specific to your building. To scale the floor plan, select the size manually tick box and position the red crosshairs on a known dimension on the floor plan, entering that dimension in ExtremeCloud IQ. After you add the location, you can onboard and position devices. You can add multiple locations, buildings, and floors as needed. In summary, we have shown how to add a location to ExtremeCloud IQ. For more information, you can select the Help button to view context-sensitive help or visit extremenetworks.com. Look out for more videos on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to receive updates on additional how-to videos like this. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so we've done a couple of things now. We've done the basic, created the account, onboarded a device, created a floor plan location. That's a great start to getting our devices all working. The next step that we're going to be demoing here is updating the firmware. It doesn't mean this is the step that you have to follow in chronological order, but it's an important step, updating the firmware. Now, what does that mean? Well, everybody kind of is familiar with what it means to update an operating system, right? If you're a Windows person, you recently did a big update, Windows 11, OS X, same thing, iOS, same thing. You update the operating system running on that device. In terms of a access point, for example, you update the firmware. Now, why do we do updates? Well, answer is quite simple. Number one would be security, right? Because they've found vulnerabilities, and by doing an update, it patches the holes that were in that operating system. So security is a very, very important driver of why we do updates. But there's also the object, or the new feature item, right? When you buy Windows or operating system or Mac or whatever, you get a new operating system. It contains new functionality. It contains new features, new bits and pieces, maybe a new GUI, for example. But there's always an incentive to upgrade because of the features that you get. A lot of people watching this would use Office 365. And every now and then, if you've got Office installed on your machine, every now and then you'll get a notification saying, we have, a new version of Office. Click here to update, and it'll go through and it'll update Excel and Word and all of those. And you get with that new functionality. And that is part of the subscription that you pay, right? Office 365 is sold on a subscription basis, mostly on a subscription basis, and you get new features. Think about Adobe. If you have Creative Suite, it's the same thing. You pay Adobe a monthly fee. They give you access to a whole lot of applications, but during the year, they update those applications. They update functionality. They update security holes, etc., etc. No different with ExtremeCloud IQ. You pay a subscription fee and you have the right to get all those updates that we develop at Extreme, and most of those come through firmware updates. So the updating firmware is really an important component in ExtremeCloud IQ. Updates for security and then for further functionality and enhancements. So now that we've established what it is, why it's a good idea to keep your firmware updated, let's have a look at a demo where we take you through the process of how you actually update one device. Now, there's a few things to consider over here. Is that in this example, we might be updating, in this demo you're about to see, we might be updating one device. But in real world, you might need to update 50 devices or 100 devices or maybe 1,000. So there's a few things that you need to remember, not just going in and just doing it in a rush. And you wouldn't do this. I'm pretty sure people watching this would, you're smart enough to know that you wouldn't just go, unless you have an access point at home, then you can just do the update at any time of the day or night. It's not really going to matter that much. But oftentimes, most times when you do a firmware update, it's going to trigger a reboot of that device. So you need to plan ahead. If you've got a network with 500 devices and you need to do a firmware upgrade on 500, you need to think about that, right? If you've built your locations and you have first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, if you have a building and you've located it like that, maybe you want to do it one floor at a time rather than doing the whole building. Maybe you want to wait for a specific period of time when people have left the office. Now during lockdown, it's easier. You don't have so many people in the office, but still you kind of don't want to do it in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So pick a time that's convenient, probably not convenient for you, but convenient for your users. Pick a time, late evening, early morning, and then you go and do this update. So you can select multiple devices or one device at a time if you want, but multiple devices, a firmware update. It pulls that update down, installs it onto that device, be it a switch or be it an access point, reboots, generally does a reboot, comes back up again, everything goes green, perfect. Time that you can now go and sleep. Let's watch the process. It's quite interesting.
In this video, we will show you how to upgrade the firmware on your ExtremeCloud IQ devices. To upgrade a device, it must be onboarded and displaying the green cloud icon as seen here. From the Manage tab, note the OS version number of the device or devices that you want to upgrade. Before upgrading, consider the impact of rebooting devices on your users and network. Select which device or devices you want to upgrade, like this. Then, click on Update Devices. Uncheck the Update Network Policy Configuration checkbox, and then select the Upgrade IQ Engine and Extreme Network Switch images as shown on screen. You now have 3 scheduling options. 1. Activate the upgrade the next time you manually reboot the device. 2. Begin the upgrade after a configurable delay. 3. Schedule the upgrade. If you selected the second option, then click the Perform Update button. If you prefer to schedule an update, use these options here. This will trigger an update at the selected time and in the time zone of the device location. Now, click the Perform Update button. If you want to upgrade many devices at the same time, then simply follow this procedure. Step 1. Click on the filters icon. Step 2. Group your devices by device function, such as your access points, first. Note, you have many options for grouping. It is preferable to not mix device function when doing multi-device upgrades. Step 3. Initiate or schedule the update. Your devices will now download the firmware, update, and reboot according to the schedule you set. This process could take a few minutes to complete successfully. Successful completion is indicated by the green cloud icon. In summary, we have shown how to perform an immediate or scheduled firmware update on devices in ExtremeCloud IQ. For more information, you can select the Help button to view context-sensitive help or visit extremenetworks.com. Look out for more videos on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to receive updates on additional how-to videos like this. Thank you for watching.
I hope these demos have actually been useful to you, right? Like I said, you can go to the Extreme Networks YouTube channel and you can find them over there. We even have them in different languages. We've started with Spanish, and you're going to start seeing the different languages coming through. So we've pretty much kind of, set the basics. We're kind of in place, right? And if you've been accompanying us on this journey, if you have an access point and you've been following, you'll see that it's really quite easy. So one of the next things that I want to cover in the next demo is creating a PSK. Now, this is one of those terms like, gee, what are you talking about? PSK stands for private shared key. You have one. You have one in your home, right? You have a key to the front door, and it lets you in and out the house. When you go in, it lets you in, and you go out, you lock it, and there you go. It's a private shared key. You share it with your family. Well, you have the same thing in a wireless network. When your friends come to your house, unless they're techies, they don't say something like, give me your private shared key. They'll use words like, what's the password to your wireless network? In techie terms, that's what's the PSK for your SSID? That's what it actually means. Private shared key, that key that connects and allows a user, your friend, to connect onto your wireless network at home. So you need to do that. You've got an access point now in XIQ. You've onboarded it. You've done all of the stuff. Now you need to create a wireless network, and you need to create a PSK, a private shared key that everybody can use. It's not the most secure of that, because think about it. If one is compromised, then everyone that uses that key is compromised. There are better, more secure ways. And in a corporate environment, you'd probably use something like a private pre-shared key, which is much, much more secure. But let's watch the demo of how you would create a private shared key. It's about 3 minutes long, so not too long. Let's watch.
In this video, we will show you how to create a basic network PSK policy. First, we go to Configure, Network Policies, and select the Add Network Policy option. This provides options for wireless, switches, and routing. For this policy, we select wireless and deselect switches and routing. For this video, we will call our policy How to PSK. You have the option to add a description of the policy if required. Then click Save. Next, we add the wireless network configuration by clicking the Add button. For this PSK network, we select all other networks. We can now add the SSID name. For this video, we will use How To as the SSID name. The broadcast name defaults to the same value as the SSID itself, which is the typical configuration required. Note, by default, the SSID is enabled on both radios, although this can be adjusted if required. We then configure the SSID settings. The default setting is private pre-shared key. We will cover this in a future how-to video, but for now, we will use the WPA2 personal setting. Typically, you will leave the key management, encryption method and key type settings at the default values. You must enter a key value between 8 and 63 characters. For this video, we will use a basic example of how-to. Do not use this value in your deployment, but select something more secure. We will leave the configuration settings for VLAN profile and captive web portal as default for the purposes of this video. Now we can click Save and select the Deploy Policy tab, which enables us to show onboarded devices based on 3 criteria. These are whether the policy has been assigned to them, whether they are eligible for the policy, or if they match a specified filter when applied through the use of the filter icon. For this video, we will select the Eligible for Policy option, which will show we have one onboarded device that can accept this policy. Select that device and click Upload. In the pop-up window, we should then select Complete Configuration Update, which will ensure the entire configuration is correctly applied to the device. Now click the Perform Update button. If we then immediately return to the Manage Devices view, we can see the device is rebooting as the new policy we created is applied. In summary, we have shown the process to create a basic network PSK policy and applied it to an access point. Look out for more videos on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to receive updates on additional how-to videos like this one. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so up on my screen, you can see now my own ExtremeCloud IQ account. And I want to take you through something really interesting. When you get an account on ExtremeCloud IQ, certainly if you do it now, when this episode is airing, take a look at some of the extra tools that you get that just come free of charge, okay? You get Extreme Location. If you have devices that have got sensors on them, location sensors on them, then the ExtremeCloud IQ APs, access points, can actually pick up location, okay? They can pick up for things like in hospitals, for example, those big machines that get moved around, asset tracking, zone tracking, where people are, in which zones they are. You can get that basically for free in this application. You set it up, bam, and away it goes. The next one that you can get is Extreme Guests, right? If you have an operation, a business that has a lot of guest traffic, for example, a hotel, hospitality industry, this is a fantastic tool. And Extreme Networks actually has full-on applications of these tools. So these are like a light version, if you want to call them that, a light version of these full-bodied applications that get sold. And you can use them within ExtremeCloud IQ. It's just there. Go in and set it up. Air Defense. This is like a flagship software program that we have, Air Defense, to protect your wireless network. Again, just thrown in as part of the mix for ExtremeCloud IQ. Now, some of you might not use them at all, might have other tools that you use, but what we're saying over here is ExtremeCloud IQ, when you get that subscription to it, it includes these applications right there. So whether you use them or not is up to you. Think of it like this. Office 365 comes with Excel, Outlook, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, right? Those are the applications that people use the most. But it also comes with Publisher. It also comes with Microsoft Access, Microsoft Forms, and a couple of other applications. Whether you use those or not is up to you. But if you want to make use of them, the applications are there. They're available for you to use. This is exactly the same. So we have air defense, and then you have A3, which is a NAC. Okay, that's a little bit more complicated. We're not really going to talk about that right now. But then we have something that I really want to focus on for the next few minutes, which is called Copilot. Now, this is interesting for a number of reasons, because Copilot is the first place where you start to see the AI and the ML, the artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities of ExtremeCloud IQ. ExtremeCloud IQ sees terabytes of data per day, and it starts to build patterns, because you need terabytes of data to get patterns, to start discovering what is normal behavior, what isn't normal behavior. You need big data. The more data you have, the more intelligent decisions that you can make on your network. And here you have a screen with ExtremeCloud IQ. It's still in public beta at this point in time. But take a look at this. You have different areas over here. Assurance scans. I do beg your pardon. I'm just looking off to read these things as I go through. Assurance scans, Wi-Fi efficiency, Wi-Fi capacity. You see, one of the things that differentiates ExtremeCloud IQ AI, this Copilot, from many other systems that claim to be AI, is they will detect anything, right? And you end up with a situation where your network engineers are responding to dozens of alarms that are constantly coming up, right? False positives. Just, I saw this, I saw, and at the end of the day, if you have a system that just triggers alarms constantly, what's the use? At the end of the day, you're just going to turn it off, and then that's when you're going to really be caught. So we have designed Copilot to the point where it only alerts you when there is a real anomaly that you need to be aware of. Now, I've been running this on my system for a couple of months, and it hasn't alerted me once yet. What does that mean? It means that within the parameters of my network, everything falls within the range of, there's no anomalies over here. Yeah, it goes up, it goes down. Yeah, there's a little bit more noise, less noise on the network. But there's nothing that actually stands out that says, hey, Isaac, this needs your attention now. If you don't sort this out now, this is going to be trouble for you. And that's what people, network administrators, right? That's what they really need. They don't need to react to everybody who cries wolf. They only need to react to the genuine issues. And this is the power of ExtremeCloud IQ Copilot, our AI and ML system. So we have all of these different systems. This one, assurance scans, Wi-Fi efficiency, Wi-Fi capacity, PoE stability. And it even gets better than that, because if it does find an anomaly found on this data. Okay, so if I were to click on that, let's see what actually happens. If I were to go into Wi-Fi efficiency, Wi-Fi capacity, for example, you'll see there's no anomalies that have been detected at all. But if there were, watch this, if there was a Wi-Fi efficiency anomaly, I would click on that and look at what happens. Ooh, that's me. But look at what happens. Not only does it tell you, hey, I have a problem, I found a problem, it doesn't just leave you there hanging like, yeah, so look what it does. It says, I found a problem. And if you click on here, it comes back and actually tells you what this is all about. I've muted it so that it doesn't come through here. But there's actually a very simple explanation telling you exactly what it is, what symptoms you will discover, what symptoms this thing leads to or has, and then it will tell you where you need to go to try and fix that. This is really phenomenal. It's included as part of the package as, coming to the end of 2021. Copilot. There is so much value in this. So if you're considering becoming a member of our family and getting into ExtremeCloud IQ, this alone is one of those features, those tools that is going to make life incredibly easier for your IT people that are managing these systems, right? It's going to really help them to stop chasing everyone who cries wolf and actually just focus on the important things. I really hope that throughout the series, we've managed to do our objective, to achieve our objective, is that introduce you to ExtremeCloud IQ in a kind of simple way, laid back way, so that if you've just joined our family, you can see that you've bought into a great management system. And if you haven't joined our family yet and you're considering, I hope that these explanations, these videos, and some of the demos have helped you to understand and see what it means when we say manage an entire network from one pane of glass. And you've seen how easy it is to do things like onboard a device, how to update firmware. So easy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks for watching. Thank you to all of those that appreciate what this is all about and have been with us for every single episode. Really appreciate it. Rowan, back to you and the girls. Cheers.
Thanks, Isaac. Great lesson again. Well, everybody, we're coming to the end now. This is the end of the series. We're a little bit sad here, actually. This has been a great experience, but we're a little bit sad that we're coming to the end. I'm going to bring Claire and Bethany back in. We got some important announcements for you. Let's go to Claire first. How are you feeling, Claire?
Oh, I'm really sad as well. I'm so proud and chuffed with everyone for sticking with us until the end of episode 6. But yeah, I know this isn't the end, so I'll leave that to you and Isaac. I know you're going to discuss what's coming up a little bit later, but yeah, it's not the end, so I'm not too sad, but very good series, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Well, tell us, Claire, how do people keep in touch if they've got any questions or they just want to keep in touch with us? And also tell everybody how they can get access to the exam and work towards that certification.
Absolutely. So as always, guys, all of the episodes will now be stored at the end of this one on our YouTube channel. So feel free to go back and watch those, and the comments will stay live. So not live chat, unfortunately, but the comments are there, and the team are always there checking those videos. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use the comments box, or if not, we do have our email alias, which is learn@extremenetworks.com. Now, again, you've all reached the 6 episodes with us, which is fantastic. So now I actually recorded this earlier, so I'm going to play the short video for you, which will explain how you can get access to that certification exam and share your badge. So yeah, run the video, guys. Hi everyone, it's me again, and yeah, we are ready to take you through now how you get access to the certification exam. So if you are new to us and you don't have yourself an Extreme Portal account, you will need to sign up. So let's just take you through how to do that now. Firstly, what you'll need to do is head to our website, which is extremenetworks.com. And so once you are there, if you head towards the right-hand side of the page, you'll be able to see a little number of options, and you just need to click on Support Portal. So once you're on our Support Portal page, if you head to the right-hand side again, you will see here that you can log or sign up. So if you click that button, it will take you through to where you can sign yourself up. And from this page, as you can see, if you do have credentials with us, you can log into the Support Portal, but this is not the dojo, just to let you know, or you create yourself a portal account by using that option at the bottom. So once you select that, you fill out your credentials, and the team will get back to you in terms of giving you an Extreme Portal account. And then once you have all of those details, you'll be able to access the Extreme Dojo, which all of our training is held on. So let's take you to that now. So you head to dojo.extremenetworks.com, and if you haven't already been here, it's a pretty simple site. So you use your login credentials to access the portal, and once you're in the portal, here is where, as I mentioned, you can access a bunch of training. But to get hold of the Welcome Series exam, you just need to either copy and paste this URL. We will add it in the comments for you, or you can use this QR code. So once you are logged into the dojo, use one of these two ways to get hold of the exam, and it will take you through to the page where you are able to start. It should look something like this. So please take note to review the credentials of the exam. As always, we give you 2 attempts. And if you need further attempts, then please do contact us at learn@extremenetworks.com. You can see here that the pass mark is slightly higher than usual, but there's a reason for this, guys, and that's because Bethany at the end of every episode has been giving you the exam questions. I mean, this should be a piece of cake. If you haven't had a chance already, go back through the episodes, check out the end, and you'll see the questions there. So there isn't the answers, but you should know what you're going to be tested on, and we want to give you the best chance of passing. So have a look at that. We want to see those pass marks flying through. And that's it. So once you've gone through the certification exam, you've passed, hopefully, I'm sure you will, you will get the certification badge. So you can share that on LinkedIn, on any social media platforms. And yeah, share around that you have completed Welcome Series 1, Meet ExtremeCloud IQ, and that'll be your first badge of the Welcome Series. We're going to talk about this later, but there's going to be so many more coming up, Meet Series. And yeah, if you're going to see those product badges building up, this is where to start. So yeah, that's it from me. Sorry if I rambled on, but again, go back to the episodes, review those questions, and we want to see those passes and badges coming in. Okay, back to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Claire. There you go. That's how you get access to the exam. And if you've got any questions on that, just get in touch. Claire gave you the contact details there. We'll be happy to help. Bethany, let's come to you now. So we're at the end of the series. How are you feeling?
Do you know what? I know it's really sad. It's the end of the series, but I can't stop smiling. I don't know. I think it's just because we've enjoyed it so much. So I'm not ready for it to finish, but I can't stop smiling. I'm just so glad everyone's joined us. Yeah.
So, but Bethany, any final thoughts from you? Any call outs? Anything you want to share with the team?
Yes, actually. So, as you all know, this training is free and the certification information has just gone up. So essentially you can get training and an industry certification for free, just a little bit of time. So we're thinking, is there anyone you know, whether it's a friend, a family member, a colleague, that this training could impact positively? Can you recommend it to someone where it might impact their career? They might be looking for a job right now. They might end up working for Extreme Networks or one of our partners. So it's just a call out to you to think about who this could help. The other part that I would like to talk about is just feedback. So this training, again, is for you. We want to hear how you feel about it, and it will impact all of the training that we produce for you in the future. So we have created a short, really brief feedback survey, and you can access that in the description below, or we'll put a QR code up any minute now. And we'd love to hear from you, or email us as well if you've got more information. But yes, keep in touch, give us feedback, and thank you again for joining us. That's everything, I think.
Thanks, Bethany. Yeah, I love that. I just want to reiterate that. Tell us what you think. It's going to, we read, all of us, the whole team here, we read your comments. We'll take those things on board, and try to keep improving this as we go forward. And I love that shout out, Bethany, about recommending to a friend as well, because this training's, like you say, it's free of charge. So as many people in your organisation or in your circle of friends can take it. There's no limit. It's there now, and the certification will remain free of charge as well. All right, I think we've teased everybody enough with some talk about what's coming next. I'm going to bring Isaac back up. Are you still out there, Isaac? Let's bring Isaac back in. So tell us, Isaac, what are you working on next?
Well, the next one that we have planned is Fabric, another one of the really interesting technologies that Extreme Networks is known for. It's always seemed to me that it's shrouded in a bit of mystery. What exactly is Fabric? So I'm going to do my best to unpack it, to unravel it, and to explain it to you, to our friends, as if you had come over to my house and we chatting across around a fire where we're having a braai. that's what's on the menu next.
That's going to be great. And I agree. Funny enough, Isaac, quite a lot of people have messaged us and said, when we're doing Fabric, when we're doing a welcome to Fabric. So we're doing it. That's great news. All right. So more to come on that. Yeah. And as the team said, if you want to find out when that's coming, if you want the latest information, then just make sure you're following us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow Extreme Networks on LinkedIn, and as soon as we've got the date for that to launch, you'll find out about it. All right, Isaac, I'm gonna give it back to you to make the final comments, the final goodbye to our audience here. So, Isaac, close it out for us.
Thank you so much. I've really had a lot of fun teaching this Meet ExtremeCloud IQ. 2 things I want to finish with. Number 1, your certification exam. Don't cross the ocean and then die on the beach, right? Go all the way. You've attended these 6 hours. Go the next step. Go and get that certification exam. It's really easy, right? We've given you all the questions already. At the end of every episode that we filmed, the questions are there. So look at the questions, watch the content. It should be a breeze, a walk in the park. The next thing is, let me just remind you, please, that survey that Bethany spoke about, fill it in, because that helps us to determine what you want to watch after the next course, Meet Fabric, right? So that'll be fantastic. With that said, I'll finish. Obrigado, gracias, ciao, arrivederci, bye danki. I'll see you in the next episode of Meet Fabric. Cheers.
Thank you.